This week I've been working with students on the Kindle, and I have been showing them the advantages of reading their books for English literature on the Kindle as opposed to reading the hard copy. Now, I am on my iPad at the moment recording this, so I'm going to go into the Kindle app, which is free, but I can do this on the desktop and I can do this on a Kindle Fire, and it's slightly better on the Kindle Fire, but as most of my students have iPads, not Kindle Fires, I thought I would create the video here, plus it's easier to create a video on an iPad than a Kindle. So I'm going to select the Kindle app. And one of the things that used to frustrate me before it was explained to me on the Kindle, where you touch the screen is really, really important. So if I touch to the right, it assumes that I want to go to the one page forward. And if I go to the left, it assumes that I want to go one page back. But if I tap in the middle, it opens up all these different options. And I want to talk you through some of these options. But before I do, I'm going to talk about tapping again. I've got a pencil with me. And what I'm able to do is if I tap here and go to the end, I can select. And what I can do here, this text, I can highlight it in different colours. Or I can take it off. I can also copy that information. So I might copy that into a Word document, and you get Word for free on the iPad, and use that as the basis of some homework. I can also write a note. So I'm going to come in here and write a note. And there's a couple of ways I can write a note. With my pencil, I can actually put, remember this. Oh, I haven't done that very well. You can see I'm new to this, but you get it will turn your writing into text. I personally find it much easier just to type. So I'm just going to come in and type, delete that, remember this. But the students do tend to like the pencil. We can copy, we can write a note, we can send it to somebody, so you can share it in all the ways that you're used to sharing any information. We can search for a particular word or phrase, which I'll look at in a second, and we can report anything that's wrong. And so what I've done here is I've actually highlighted a word within this, and it's gone into the dictionary definition. We can look at the Wikipedia and translate. So let's get that for a better word. Let's do it for the word drank. So we have the dictionary definition, the Wikipedia, and the translation, and I can make that French or any language that I choose. And
Vu.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of all the options when we tap a word or we tap a text. So now I'm just going to tap the middle of the screen, and we will look at these different options here. This goes out of the book, and then you can select another book. Here you can go to particular chapters. You can go to the last location. You can go into flashcards, which I'm going to talk about in a different video, but you can take parts of the text and turn them into flashcards on the iPad or within the Kindle app. But I'm not sure I want to investigate actually getting those out into Quizlet, and I haven't managed to do that yet, so that will be a future video. And I'm going to talk about some of these later. We've got popular highlights and X-ray, but they will make more sense if I cover them later on. So here is where we can change the font, and you've got lots of fonts available to you. A lot of my students really like Open Dyslexic. We can change the size, we can change the layout. A lot of my students like the black background, some like the green light background. There's an awful lot you can play about with there. You can play about with the spacing and the alignment, whether you want columns or one column. We've got themes that will sort of put those all in place for you really quickly, or you can save your own custom. And in here you've got things like a reading ruler, so if you were to switch that on, and you'd have to say disable page turn to use it, and that's what it looks like. I personally don't use it because it doesn't work with Immersive Reader. It's more for if you are reading it yourself and you're going to go through, but it doesn't work with Immersive Reader. So that's the reason why I don't tend to use it. Real text highlights, yeah, I think they're really worthwhile. I like the page turn animation, so I'll turn that back on. So if we explore the other options, now I talked about the fact that I have highlighted certain things in this document in different colours, and if I come here I can see that. You can see the different colours of highlight as we go along, but I'm going to go back into this view. I absolutely love this. So this is the note with the lines on it, and here I can see everywhere that I have highlighted. And what I really like about this is I can filter them, and I can say just show me all the yellow highlights, or just show me all the blue highlights, or starred highlights. I haven't starred anything, so I haven't used that one yet. So there's an awful lot you can do. So just show me highlights from chapter 6. So there we go. So if you need to find information or save information as you are reading a book, I think this is really, really powerful. And then something else that you get with Kindle app that you do not get if you read a book is this. It's called X-ray, and I think it's sort of going into great detail with the book. So it's gone in and it has almost study notes. So these are all items here, but you could particularly say just all the people or all the terms. So if we say the people, what we're able to do then is, so, well, let's look at Mr. Sir. So these are all the times it talks about Mr. Sir in the book. So we'll look at people again, and we will look at Rex. And these are all the times it talks about Rex. Or if we're looking at terms, what's a bath bag? Well, it's the airsick bag. So I find that really helpful, and this is where it talks about a bath bag in the book. So an awful lot of help that you wouldn't get if you had the hard copy. I find this search function really, really helpful. The amount of times that I go through a book looking for a particular part that I need to find, and I don't find it, I waste lots of time. But this search facility, I can type in any particular word or mountain, so any particular word or phrase, and it will find it. So I'm going to say mountain. And I could have, so this now tells me everywhere where it says mountain in the book. And had I wanted to, I could have written, so I could have said pig. And we've seen that I'm not very good at this, but yeah, that's worked. So I'm now going to search for pig. And every time it said pig in the book, it will tell me exactly when it did. And finally here, we can bookmark a page so it's easy to find, and we see it now, it's easy to find. And I'm sure there is a way of just going straight to bookmarks, but I don't use the bookmarks very much, but I wanted to make you aware that they were there. So I think that's a quick look at all the advantages of using a Kindle app to read a book over and above the hard copy. I hope you found that helpful.